Have you ever thought about using trading bots? I used Bitsgap in the last bull market and turned $1,000 into $50,000 within a 5-month period. I documented the whole process and put it in a playlist if you want to see that, along with other training videos and tutorials how to set bots up and make the most of the volatility of the crypto market. If you sign up with a link in the description, you'll get a 7 days free trial with no obligation to continue, and you can also use a demo account within Bitsgap so you don't have to risk your own capital. Bitsgap! Hello everybody, welcome back. You're going to love this. I'm going to talk about EOS. That's right, we're talking about EOS, baby. So let's crack open the chart, shall we, as we're pushing that major level of resistance again. Basically a 200 exponential moving average and this horrendous trend line of this falling wedge pattern that we've been stuck in since its inception back in September 2022. So it's a long time going. Very long time brewing this one, and again, you know, this is like a major area for it to decide to break out from. You know the drill. I say it on the Telegram from time to time. I say it throughout the Patreon twice a week. If you want to join that, there's another one going on tomorrow. When at resistance, expect a rejection. As simple as that. And when at support, expect a support. So, I mean, this is the deal. So last time where I was making that video on EOS, I was saying, look, this is resistance here. If we break it, great. We've got another one up here. But if we come back down, there's a support around here. And lo and behold, bounce from it again and a double tap from it over here. And now we're back up to where we came from. We're turning up quite nicely on the MACD here now, so a positive cross some point this week should give it momentum because we're above that 0 point, about to get a positive histogram tick there. That'd be nice. But mostly the USDT pair is really a matter of two things: breakout of resistance, and if we just zoom in closely, a bit of attention to detail, an incoming, yeah, you got it, an incoming cross on the conversion baseline and the cheeky span above price action. That gives us a trend signal on EOS. A trend signal hopefully generated in the form of a breakout that should start to take us and trend quite significantly up. So I know that EOS causes a lot of upsets to certain people. I don't know why they watch the videos if they don't like it, but it's always going to upset some people when you talk about stuff like this, because you know, I can understand. So you look at a chart like EOS and you're like, well, why would anyone bother trading something like this? Well, you know what, you can trade anything if you believe in the technicals, to which I do. It's not a small cap, it's a relatively large cap, isn't it? It's in the top 50, so for whatever that means. I'll tell you what it means to me. It means liquidity. So you can trade EOS for, you know, large sums of money. So a trade, a $50,000 spot trade, is like a drop in the ocean. So it makes it more accessible to, I suppose, people like me and others who trade with like large amounts. So you can go in and out. If I was trading, you know, something, you know, ridiculously small that trades on, I don't know, some really, you know, Probit or something like that, absolutely could you never ever put 50 grand in. I'm not saying that I'm putting 50 grand in, but you know what I'm saying. It's a liquidity issue. And so really, when you're trading with large amounts of money, you do need to look at volume, and the volume's okay here. It's 14 million 24-hour period. That's not too bad. And obviously, if this starts to break out, you'd expect this to go into the 50 million, maybe even 100 million, to be honest with you, as it reaches its parabolic phase, you know, and the peak, which is potentially up here around 176 or something like that. So yeah, like I say, we're about to confirm a conversion baseline cross, and if we get a breakout at the same time, that should easily take us up to this level, and we'll take it one step at a time, because this isn't a pump signal, this is a trend signal. So long as the trend signal remains intact, the trend should still be intact. And the beauty of a trend signal is that it tells you when the trend is over, not at the absolute peak, although, you know, we are sort of assuming certain peaks at certain levels, but it'll say, all right, the trend is finished now. It's likely to either, you know, it could still go up based on something else, but as far as this signal is concerned, the trend is over. So we are looking to brew this signal and get this signal if we close at this level or higher. The best thing to do, really, if you're not in a position from these lower levels, like myself, would be to wait for the breakout, really, because at the breakout you'd be looking for a breakout of formation, a breakout above moving averages, a breakout of momentum, and a conversion baseline cross giving us a trend signal on the itchy cloud. So that's pretty sweet, I have to say, and I appreciate I'm talking about EOS. So, you know, if you don't like EOS, I don't know why you're watching the video, But yeah, this is the deal. This is the deal. And EOS likes to move late as well. So if there is going to be an alt season 2.0, which I think there is, because if we make our way back over to the total 2, we can see that there is a breakout on it now. We're on the 4-hourly, but really we'll just focus on the daily. A breakout above this major level. This is basically like an Ethereum chart. Really, it's just done the same thing really as the Ethereum chart. So we've now made a new local high on this. The last high that we got that was anywhere close to this was back around here in absolutely millions of years ago, August 2022. And for Ethereum, I think it was April 23 was the last sort of peak that it found its way up to these sort of levels. Yeah, so we are looking for breakouts now. We are looking for alt season 2.0. Remember, tomorrow is a Tuesday, so it normally runs counter to the rest of the market. Now, for the most part, we are closing green, for the most part, not across the board, but generally green with the two major players, Bitcoin and Ethereum. So that, to me, would suggest that tomorrow might end up being a pullback day. Tuesdays often go the opposite direction of the open of the week, so don't be surprised to see pullbacks tomorrow, or even pullbacks starting now and continuing into tomorrow. These are all, as far as I can see, opportunities to buy the dip on, really. Which is why I think joining the Patreon would be good, because we do one of our live streams on Tuesday nights. So if we're going to get entry points at any point in the week, it would be looking at these things on a Tuesday night when the market most of the time is red, to then continue with what I expect to be further upside. So yeah, further downside, blah blah blah. So yes, with that in mind, so we are pushing that resistance on EOS at the moment. We could easily come back down to below 70 cents on this one. A retest of the 10 exponential, a retest of the Bollinger Band Center, maybe the 21 exponential. They're all fannying around in that sort of same kind of area, so that seems reasonable to me. It doesn't have to work that way. It could break out now. I'm not saying it's going to do either or. What I'm saying is that we are looking at a pretty strong signal brewing at the moment, and that strong signal is likely to continue up to 90, then 120, and possibly even 175. Now the thing to think about with EOS isn't just that EOS is showing us signals, that EOS is often late to the party. So yeah, these are very juicy targets really, if we were to measure it just from where we are right now, or effectively where the breakout would be. The top target is 140%, so that's not too bad. If it was to happen, it would probably happen within a period of weeks. It would happen quite quickly, 2, 3, 4 weeks or something like that from the breakout. So yeah, that is true, but we're also at the mercy of the market, and as we've been saying for a little while, Bitcoin does have a resistance between 42 and 43. The next one above that is going to be like 48. So depends on how Bitcoin decides to behave. I've been, I suppose, well, people don't quite understand what I've been talking about, I suppose. We look at these things on different time frames. You do have a trend signal on this on the weekly, by the way, which is something to take hold of, but you also are quite overheated. So without boring everybody to death on this, I am skeptical about how high this can go without a longer drawn-out consolidation, maybe taking us 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 month period to complete. That's fine, but alt seasons are usually the last thing you get before that, and if you're going to get one last pump out of the market, it's normally EOS, which is like a warning signal in the first place when you see EOS moving, and so EOS might not get to any one of these levels because it can come down dramatically with the market. So if you are trading EOS, just be aware of that. We think about something like XRP as the chart that thou giveth, thou taketh away, but you've never seen anything taketh away as fast as EOS can do it. It really can, but for the moment things are looking quite positive for it. Now I'll be looking for a full send on this one, to be honest with you, but remember, the pump signal, the trend signal is about to complete. We've got to confirm that tomorrow morning, see where we are. The breakout has not yet happened, and so we're still pushing the resistance, so expect rejection. And tomorrow is Tuesday, so looking for a bit more of a pullback. One last thing I'll show you is the EOS to Bitcoin pair, which has formed some bullish divergence here. So we've got a nice low and a significant higher low at the moment, with a wick low on price action, and with that, it's not only that, but the money flow index has crept right down to the bottom. Now, money flow index isn't normally a good way to try to trade anything. Yeah, obviously you could look at this and go, well, actually, the last time it came down, we had a nice little rally. That's true, but normally that's not the best way to try and trade it. The thing I would show you this time, though, surprisingly, is that actually the money flow index has gone down, but the volume has gone up. Normally EOS, or I say normally, recently EOS has been trading less than 10 bitcoins in a 24-hour period. Now, an increase of 7.7 is nothing really. We talk about liquidity. This is poor liquidity right now. But if there were to be a rotation, which is something that we are and have been speculated on, because the last time we did get this read on Bitcoin with a overheated money flow index on the weekly, we did get a significant rotation. So Bitcoin peaked around here, a 95 read on the MFI, and then consolidated 30%, while altcoins shot up hundreds of percent. So we could be looking at something similar to that, but it's not. It's not an exact science. It's just a theory because it happened last time. That's all. The 2 times before that, we ended up consolidating. So don't put all your eggs in one basket, especially if it's your eggs and EOS tokens. Just don't do that. This was madness. But it is a theory. 1 out of 3, of recent history has performed that way. So it's the odds aren't great, but there are some odds there. So what does that be? A 35% chance that this is actually going to take place again. Might not, but it could. But yeah, the thing to think about would be, all right, fine, if it does happen, still relatively low volume, but I would say the last time we looked at EOS's volume on the Bitcoin pair, it was half this, so it has doubled. To be honest, it has doubled in its volume, which is quite good, I would say. Also, we've got bullish divergence on the weekly, and we've also got bullish divergence on the weekly money flow index as well, which is also quite good. And finally, we'll just take the EOS chart over to the weekly on its tether pair. And if this did run, we're still below the 0 point. We've got many histogram ticks now showing some form of consolidation, I'd say, within this bearish trend. I think that it's reasonable to assume that a breakout from this point now would reach these levels. And look, I'm not going to say we're going to hit it, but we could even move our way into like the $2 to $2.40 zone. It's possible. I'm not saying it's going to happen. It's possible. It's a pretty shoddy looking chart when you look at it on the weekly. We are just looking at around about a turnaround of momentum, really. That's all we're looking for. Each one of these is a serious sell order. 25%, 25%, 25%, or maybe even 50%, 25, 25. It's up to you how you decide to play this, if you decide to play it at all. All I'm trying to point out is that this is a trade that should be looked at and thought about and not dismissed just because EOS is not cool. It doesn't matter if it's cool. You don't have to trade things that are cool. Don't follow the crowd. Just think yourself. Have a good think about it on your own, right? Don't let me persuade you into anything. Or don't let the trolls or the masses persuade you to trade something like, I don't know, super furry Elon Mars token. One of those stupid things, which probably will do 1,000,000%, because there's power in sheep, isn't there? I'm just talking to you from a technical perspective, that despite this being EOS, which is absolutely not cool at all, we are looking at something that could yield, anywhere from a 50 to 140, was it, percent move from basically where we're at right now. Confirmation. So we'll revisit this tomorrow, probably on the live stream. We'll see where we are, whether we're above this, excellent, whether we're back down at support, even better, because what we would be looking for would be breakout inevitably at some point. Probably if we're going to do it, it's going to be soon because of the nature of Bitcoin and Ethereum at the moment, and the total too, and also the stock market, let's face it. But it's not an exact science, like I say. So this will be the last video I'll make on EOS. The next one I'll make will be when we reach these areas, and it'll just be a quick video of me like laughing, I suppose, cheering, I don't know I don't know what I have to celebrate these days. I'm a dad with 2 kids, really, so I can't really, there's a lot of my vices have been kicked now, so I'll find something to celebrate with when we get up to these levels. But I would also say that if we do get up to these levels, it might mark the end of the alt season anyway. So just even keeping an eye on EOS and its behaviour is worthy of doing, even if you're not trading it, because if we do start to see big rallies on EOS, it's pretty much time to finish there, to wrap up and go home. Right, thanks for watching. Hope you have a nice day. Take it easy.